It was 2010. When I went to home, I got a news my dad got arrested. Everyone was crying. My mom was crying. A lot of people gathered there. I was in 8th standard, 14-year-old kid. I saw my mom on a gate and I hugged her. She was crying a lot. But what happened? I told my mom, just go, let's go inside, because a lot of people were gathering there. I opened the gate. I was taking my mom and pulling her to just go inside. And I took her inside. I saw my grandmother sitting inside beside wall. My uncle was standing there. Fan was moving slowly. I was feeling like so much downtime starting in my family right now. Everybody was thinking what to do right now. This kind of situation never happened in our whole family till all the ages. My grandmother started crying more, and some ladies outside came inside home and they were looking at me. What I was doing, I was telling my mom, my grandmother, everybody to just be quiet, don't cry, don't cry. And one of the ladies said, look at this kid, Purushottam. He's not crying. He's trying to tell mom and grandmother to be relaxed. How brave this kid is. Please don't cry. That kind of, even the ladies were started doing it. And that motivated me as well. But I was not able to do anything. But then one call we got, they said, Dad, I got to know that dad is safe, but he's in a jail right now. And we need to go, somebody need to go there for a bail, or a lot of things were going on. FIR was there, a lot of things were there. So everyone was confused. Nobody knew what to do. Even my uncle went for some work because of something they need. And now the time came, it was around 10 p.m. in the night time, 10 p.m. And they needed one man which lives in our village. It is 16 kilometers away from my home. We need that person anyhow to the jail. And nobody was there. Everyone was waiting. But recently I learned bike. Okay, recently means just recently I learned bike. I was so much fascinated. I was I was in 8th standard. It's just 14-year kid. But I learned bike. I don't know, but I did it. I said I will go for it. My mom was crying again. She was running behind me. Don't go, don't go. But still I said, no, I have to do for this for my dad. Whatever happens, I will do it. It was raining. That's why mom was crying more. But I still went ahead, opened the door, opened the gate. I went outside, started my bike, and I was literally feeling that raining was crazy. Just 8-year standard kid. I was going in a village. I took that person and I came back, went to jail in the midnight. We were doing all that stuff. And luckily, we got our dad back in a home after 24 hours of struggle. But struggle didn't end. We got to know that some people got a chance to suspend my dad from the job. And we had no payment. We all used to go to people who have political powers, but we had no connections. But still we went to that person who was not even talking to my dad, was not even talking to me as well. I was just a kid. I was running behind them. Please help, sir. Please help us. He went in a car. I literally opened the door. I still remember I was crying. I had tears in my eyes, telling that person, please sir, tell us when my dad will get his job back. He closed the door on my face and I was crying a lot. My dad took me at home and I came to home and I saw my mom. She used to cry every day. It's been more than a year right now. So much pressure. But my mom's, that day she was happy. I don't know why. I asked her, what happened, mom? I sat beside her and I just slept on her thighs just to relax. And she was happy. Then I asked her, mom, what happened? And she was doing these kind of things on my head and told me, all doors are closed. Nobody can help us except God. Because we tried. My dad was literally used to go for courts and courts kind of every week. Nobody was helping. This was the situation as a middle class family. But my mom said only God can help us. And then I said, how you will tell your God? How he can help? Then she said, I will go to temple. There is a temple called Raher. From my home to Raher, it's nearly more than 20 kilometers. And she said, I will be going without footwears. Whatever happens. I said, how can you go? Actually, my mom is, that time also it's around 70 kg weight. So not like, you already know, most of the Indian families, like ladies, most of them, they are not at all that slim. So even my mom is not that slim to walk or run. That kind of situation it was. But that's why I was saying like, no, it's not possible. You can't go. She said, whatever happens, I will go. And she decided, and she said, tomorrow I will be going. I was just a kid. I forgot about these things and I went to school, but she was firm on her decision. She said, I will go. Literally, she was walking without footwear till that temple, 20 kilometers plus. And she did it. But she decided to do it for 7 days consistently, which was unbelievable. Second day, some ladies on a bike or a scooty, they joined with my mom. And on a second day, they came back and they were telling me or my other members that your mom was getting a lot of problems in a leg. She was sitting a lot of time. She don't even had proper sari wear. Like a lot of, she was literally like, even blood was coming from the legs. That was a situation going on, but still she was not stopping. On a third day, my dad joined. Literally, my dad gave up even before 20% of walking. He came back. But my mom, she went on a third day as well. She went on a fourth day as well, 20 kilometers long. That was the place we call as a best spiritual place, a temple. On a fourth day, she went. On a fifth day as well, nobody was able to do it. On a sixth day also, she did it. On a seventh day also, she did it. I was literally looking at her legs. I was not even able to touch those legs. And I was just helping her in the night time. And I asked her, Mom, how you did it? It's like, if I ask my mom right now, current situation I'm telling you, if this coconut water, my dad given to me, my mom don't even come to on a second floor to give this. She says, no, I will not walk. But 20 kilometers, 7 days consistently, how she did it? I asked her. She said me, son, only focus was how my children will have better future. Because that is the only job, that is the only thing we can have which will help us to grow in our life. How to give food. Even there was a problem, even I remember, to just get oil, we end up with money. We didn't have even money for the paying for the oil. That was the situation. I don't know how my mom, my dad was managing that time. But my mom said, only God was there to help us. And that's why I did it. Only one why. The biggest why is to give this good life to my children. After that, my dad got a job back. And all the money of the payments, that also my dad got. And the biggest lesson I learned from my mom, that right now, like that time she was not at all capable to do it physically. But when she decided in the mind, she did it. So once you have that bigger why in your mind, and when you fix that, it will help you to push you more than your physical capability. And that's what my mom shown me. I just want to tell you, you already have a lot of problems in your life. The only thing you have to do is fix that one problem, make it a big why, and go with so much focus. Then this why will give you extra energy to take one more step, and finally you will reach to your goals.